Long way, get this shit a long way, long way, long way, hit it long way, 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 shit long way, long shit long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit, gotta get the shit long, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way, but I gotta get this shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up an entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. My name is Tari, and I'm playing games up to the Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I went and got some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, yeah, we get this shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we get the long way, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Welcome. What's up, Coding? What's up, Omanike? Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young, and I am the founder of SMD. SMD is a family of people that think like me. And what is that? I'm here to share my gift, and my gift is that I understand that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative, okay? And this is a mathematical fact. It's not a guess. It's not a, my theory or anything like that. I want to make sure you guys understand what I speak are only mathematical facts, which makes it true. If it's true, if the math makes sense, that means it's true and the answer's right. And if you don't believe it, that means you have a psychological problem if you don't believe in mathematics. If you open up your calculator, right, and put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, you see a large negative number. And if you still believe you're a homeowner while looking at the calculator at that large negative number, that means you have a psychological problem. But that's okay, because that's where people like you live, on the negative side of the economy. People that believe they can own things with no money of their own. Those people are called debt slaves. Now, they live on the negative side of the economy, but they don't know they do. Okay, they don't know that they live there. They believe they can buy houses with mortgages, buy cars with car loans, and keep student loan debt their entire lives, and believe they can own a house and contribute to retirement while having student loan debt older than the retirement plan itself. Those are called debt slaves, believing they're earning interest on money that doesn't exist. Because with this knowledge, I now understand that, all currency is psychological to debt slaves. The value of any currency, gold, silver, euro, whatever, the value is determined by the person holding it at the time of evaluation. That's how much that okay, so say like this, okay? Say like a ounce of gold is $2,000, okay? And imagine you're holding this ounce of gold in your hand, okay? And it's worth $2,000 because you Googled it. Okay. It says, hey, it says gold is 2,000, right? But you have $50,000 in student loan debt. All right. Now, if you open up the calculator, put in 2,000 minus 50,000, that's negative 48,000. The calculator says you don't have any gold in your hand at all. So whatever 2,000 you're talking about is not there. That's what the calculator says. But your eyes, your eyes say otherwise. You're looking at it, right? Excuse me. All right, sorry about that. Now here's the psychological part. Which do you believe? Do you believe the calculator? Or do you believe your eyes? The eyes that you see you see an ounce of gold worth $2,000 in your hand, but the calculator saying you don't have anything in your hand. That's what that's what the calculator says. Okay, but that's a tough spot to be in. You know, when you're a debt slave, you don't know what that means and what I just said. Now they don't. Debt slaves don't know that capitalism is psychological, which means, yep, you're right. Psychological is a language too. They don't know it's a language. Debt slaves don't know that. Like, if I walked up to a debt slave and said, "Hey, you know, it only takes one day to buy a house," do you think they would understand what I just said? Hey, you know, it doesn't take 30 years to buy one house. You know, you can't own equity in a mortgaged house. Those are psychological statements. Debt slaves have no idea what any of that means. What do you mean I can't own equity in a mortgaged house? What are you talking about? And then they'll start rambling, right? But they don't know what they're doing is called slave splaining. What is slave splaining? Things that make absolutely no mathematical sense. So they're just spitting off what they learned. That's called slave splaining. Things that don't make, hey, I pulled some equity out of my house and paid off my cars, and then I invested some money into the stock market, and I earned this and that. That's called slave splaining. They didn't do any of that, but they don't know that. Okay, that's the language of the psychological. They don't understand that. Like, for here, let me give you an example. Say like Bitcoin, right? I don't know what it's at right now, but say like it was at $20,000. Okay, I don't even know what it is. I don't really pay attention to it, right? So say like it was $20,000, and the only way you could get Bitcoin, you had to pay $20,000 to buy it, right? How big do you think Bitcoin would be if they said everybody has to buy a whole Bitcoin? You would have never even heard of Bitcoin, okay, if they did that. So what they do, they break it up in Bitcoin crumbs, sort of like car payments. You know, you can't afford to buy the whole car, so they break it up in payments. It's the same thing, Bitcoin crumbs, right? Once you understand that, you guys don't understand why they break it up because you're debt slaves. But they know you don't have $20,000 because you're a debt slave. So you don't have that. So they break it up. Now you guys go crazy thinking you're going to, you, you have a piece of a Bitcoin, but then you look at Bitcoin's price. Oh my God, it's all the way up to 40. Yeah, for whole Bitcoins, debt slaves, not for a piece of one. But see, you guys don't understand that. That's why when you come here, right? And this is what I love about what I do. Okay. And if you ever try it, right? I love changing people's lives forever. I can't explain. You know, first you're like, oh, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to have a lot of money. And then I start changing people. I have, the first time somebody said, hey, LJ, you really changed my life. It kind of struck me like, whoa, I've never heard nobody say that to me before. Hey man, you changed my life? That's big, right? But now I hear it all the time. Not saying that, oh, I'm used to it. That's what drives me. The more I hear it, the more it inspires me to do more. Why? Because I know the average. Think about it. How many people have you come up to in your life to say, "Hey man, you really changed my life"? People don't say that. That's not something people accidentally say to another person. just out of be, just to be saying something. Hey man, you really changed my life. Nobody says it like that. They only say it when they mean it. That's what I do. That's what drives me. And you probably, if you're new to the channel, you probably thinking, well, what do you do? I help people participate on the positive side of the economy. That's what I do. I'm not here to change nothing. I was just on the wrong side of it. I'm here to participate on the positive side. That's where I'm at. Once you understand this, your whole perspective changes. But once you come to the positive side, and when you're talking about finances, guess what? There's only one perspective, and guess what perspective that is? That's the mathematical perspective. Period. There is no other perspective. Period. I understand being on the positive side of the economy. If mortgages didn't exist, neither would the housing market. So I understand why they got to believe they got to buy, why debt slaves have to believe they can buy houses with mortgages. I get it. I totally understand it. Like, say like this, say like you're a realtor, right? You come across my channel and you're like, LJ, man, I wouldn't make no money if I told them what you said, you only can you can't buy a house with mortgages. I wouldn't make no money. And that would be a valid point. It was like, because I hear that all the time, right? I would make no money. You're right. That's why I'm saying I'm only talking to you. You don't believe you can buy a house with a mortgage. You don't believe you can own equity in a mortgage house in your personal life. But when it's time for you to sell, you sell to people who believe they could buy houses with mortgages, because if you didn't, you wouldn't make no money, because debt slaves have no money to buy anything. You don't think, hey, listen, you don't think the banks already know that? The banks already know. Debt slaves have no idea. Look, listen, they think it's normal to have to go to the bank to ask permission to buy anything. Hey, I got to go to the bank to get permission to buy a house. I got to go to the bank to get permission to buy a car. They don't never stop to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm a grown up. Why am I keep asking for permission? Duh. I never asked when I was a debt slave, never once did I ask myself that question. I just thought it was normal. Okay, I want a new car. All right, let me go see what the bank's going to give me at what percentage rate. I just went straight into automatic mode to where I was programmed. I get it. Totally. Congratulations, bank. I consider myself a smart dude, and I didn't see that. You think I knew credit reports were really owner ledgers? You think if somebody walked up to me as a debt slave and said, "Hey man, your credit report's really a owner's ledger," I would have said, "What?" They would say, "Yeah, they just keep track of all the businesses that own you." I don't think I would have understood it. I would have been like, "What? What do you mean?" Yeah, you're owned. Those are your papers. Like when you guys go get loans and stuff like that, and they run your credit. Yeah, the credit scores are just indicators. Okay, they just say if you have a low credit score, you don't pay back the bank's money on time. If you got a good credit score, you do. That's it. It's nothing but it's listen, it's nothing more than that. What they're looking for to see how many owners you have. That's what they're looking for, and see if you know anything. Like, let me give you an example. Say like you want to get a house. Say like the house is, let's keep it modest, 300,000, okay? You wanna get a house, you think you're ready, you're getting to that age, you guys think it has something to do something to do with your age or something, right? The first thing you do is say, "Oh, the house is 300,000." First thing you're supposed to do is log into your bank account and see if you have $300,000 to buy it, because the only way to buy a house is cash. There is no other way. It doesn't matter what all your friends are doing and family doing. I'm just here to tell you, according to the laws of mathematics, there is no other way to buy a house other than cash. But since you don't know that, you contact the bank and say, "Hey, bank, can you buy this for me?" And then they run your credit, see how many owners you have. And then when they run your credit, say like this, they run your credit and they see They say you got a student loan older than your children. That right there tells them that you don't know. You have no clue about what you're about to do, what you're asking. You have no clue about what you're asking the bank. So guess what you're getting? A subprime mortgage because you have no money. And with a student loan older than your children, talking about and you're asking for a 30-year loan, you're not paying off nothing. And then they approve you because they know you're never going to own it, but you don't know that. But guess what? You leave the bank talking about your homeowner. Take a picture in the yard with the big paper key and all that good stuff and post it on your social media, doing everything you're supposed to be doing, just like everybody else. You guys all do the same stuff, every single one of you, and owning absolutely nothing. It's crazy. It's just bananas. Now, I'm not talking about you because, again, I was a debt slave too. I don't care what the banks did that to me. They didn't actually, no, let me take that back. The banks didn't do anything to me. I did it to myself. They taught me basic math in elementary school. They taught us all in elementary school. You know what's so funny? Especially especially knowing what I know now, okay? That capitalism is psychological. I still remember my teacher's name. Her name was Miss Klingensmith. She was a German lady. She was an older lady. And when I was in her math class, now I used to love math. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. Now, to me, I just, when you're a kid and you love math, you're not really thinking about, hey, does everybody else love math or is it just me? You know what I'm saying? You don't really think like that, right? But I always noticed she favored me. And I remember as a kid, I'm like, why is she always coming over to me, asking me these, but I think she saw the gift early in life because people that know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a perspective. Okay. When you don't know the psychological exists, right? You don't know. So you have no idea that this perspective exists. You have no clue. I could tell by the way you talk. Like, here, let me give you an example, debt slaves, and you got to be just honest with yourself. A lot of you guys don't know the difference between business debt and personal debt, net and gross, like what's gross, what's net. You guys have no idea the difference. A lot of you guys don't. And I noticed that when I go in some of these podcast rooms and I'll be, hey man, you should earn 100,000. I'm saying I keep typing in there, are you talking about net or gross? And then everybody's like, oh, it's both. It really doesn't matter. No, that is absolutely not true. It's either one or the other. That's why you always hear, when you hear Robert, you come across my channel and say, hey, get out of debt, get out of debt. And then you come across Robert Kiyosaki, he's saying, hey, man, I get rich off of debt. Debt slaves, you know why you guys are confused? Because you don't know Robert's talking about business debt. He's not talking about personal debt. Now, I don't know if he doesn't tell you that on purpose. I don't know. Or maybe he just doesn't want to waste his time telling you. I have no clue. But that seems like a large hole to exploit to me. You guys don't know the difference. You guys call debt good and bad. You guys be describing it. Oh man, this is good debt. You have this mortgage and the equity on the house. That's called good debt. Who told you that? You're friends with debt? You're friends with mortgages? You guys be actually calling how a mortgage good debt. Houses only appreciate for the owner, which is the bank, not you. See, you guys don't know when it comes to the financial game, you guys don't know financial words are also positive and negative. You guys don't even know that. That's what I'm saying. That's the perspective that you will never be able to see. Because in order to even understand a word I'm saying, you have to own yourself first. When you come to this perspective, now when I look at public schools and public colleges, I get it. I totally get it. Student loan debt, oh, I most definitely get student loan debt. Just 18 years old, get as much as you want at 18 years old. Listen, get as much as you want with a type of debt you cannot bankrupt at 18. You need somebody there to tell you at 18 what that means when you sign. Because I'm not against student loan debt. I'm not. But as an adult, 18-year-old needs to understand when you get this debt, you need to understand what it means. You have to pay back every single penny, or else you're going to be paying it your entire life. They need to understand that. But you know what? These kids at 18, the majority of the kids that go to college, guess what? Their parents have student loan debt. They don't know. Say like you're one of those kids that have been pushed into college, told all your life you ain't gonna be shit, and here you are getting student loan debt. Nobody mentioned how that college was gonna be paid, but here you are getting student loan debt. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you a secret. Ask your parents if they still have their student loan debt. Hey, mom, dad, you guys still have your student loan debt? If they say yes, that's a big red flag. You do not want that. I promise you don't want that. You don't want it. I'm not saying not go to college. I'm saying when you decide to get whatever degree you're gonna get, you better make it good, because you got to pay back every penny as soon as college is over. They make it so easy too. They know you guys that got no money. Zero. Hey, you don't have to pay while you're going to school. Great, but the interest still accrues. What's that? You guys don't know about interest? You guys are debt slaves. Oh, we already paid the school. Here's some overage check. Here's the extra money. Extra from where? Extra from what? Thin air? Yes, thin air. College is a business, baby. And that's how they buy debt slaves, student loan debt. Age 18, bought. And guess who gets second dibs? Credit cards. That's why they're on campus. They get first dabs. First the government. Not blaming the government, not saying they're bad or anything. They told me in the paperwork, hey, by the way, if you borrowed the student loan debt, Mr. Young, yeah, you got to pay it back. Okay. They didn't do anything to me. I want to make sure I kept my student loan debt 10 years. I'm not going to be protesting on something I signed up for. Nope, paying it off. Sorry if you guys hear this mic move. I'm actually holding it. I'll keep it still if I can. You 18, you going to college, don't know what you want to major in and stuff like that, and you're partying with your buddies. You guys are all getting student loan debt. Guess what? You guys are gonna all be joined by the hip in student loan debt. Partying away the money. They're buying. That's how you guys are purchased. That's how debt slaves are purchased starting at age 18. You better believe it. I know you hear it. You might not believe. You're like, what? All you got to do is ask your parents, see if they still have their student loan debt. Ask them. If they say yes, you don't want to follow in the foot. Look, you're on the way to college. So that means they have at least a minimum of 20 years of holding that student loan debt. You don't want to be that person that went to college for 4 years talking about they majored in this and that and did this and that, but they have their student loan debt for 20 years. That doesn't sound too smart to me. And the reason why I said that was me. That sure was. Went to college 4 years. Yep, sure did. Kept it for 10. Talking about college is expensive. Like the next time you hear a person say, "Whoa, man, college is expensive," you should say, "How long you've had your student loans? 20 years? Oh yeah, it must be very expensive." But what it really is is that you're owned. You guys you guys understand that physical slavery is illegal now, but psychological slavery is alive and well. No laws against it. Sure ain't. No laws, no laws against it. It's like volunteer too. It's absolutely beautiful. You guys have no clue. It's like volunteer slavery, debt slavery, debt slaves. All races, colors, neighborhoods, rich, poor, black, white, everybody, everybody. If you're making car payments, I'm talking to you. If you got multiple credit cards maxed out, I'm talking to you. It doesn't matter what color you are. I'm talking to you. Yes, you guys are all debt slaves. Sure is. Sure are. Dating each other. Everybody's in debt, trying to show off. Hey, look what I got. I'm this and that. I'm age this, and I'm now 27. I got 2 houses, and you don't know to stop and say, how did you, when you say purchase those houses, how did you purchase them? Mortgages? Yeah, you don't own nothing. People with mortgages don't own anything. It's just crazy. It's like today, you guys have no idea how noisy social media is. I cannot stand it. I try to I try to deal with it to try to find something to talk about, but you guys talk about there is so much stuff. I mean, just whew. That shit is noisy, man. You guys have no idea how noisy social media is. It is just noisy. You guys are talking about just stuff that don't even matter. Sitting in debt, mad because the student loan forgiveness didn't come through. It never was, debt slaves. God, you gotta listen, man. You gotta pay it off. There is no way out. They're never gonna let you out, debt slaves. That's how they bought you. No, excuse me. That's how you sold yourself to it. And I don't want to say them like it's people. It's a system. You sold yourself to it by living on the negative side of it. That's a choice. If you hear me say it's 100% mathematically impossible to own equity in a mortgaged house and you get upset and mad about it and you don't believe it, I don't care that you don't believe math. You just need to understand that you will be on the negative side of the economy until you're dead. Believing if you finance an electric car, you're saving money on gas. This shit is getting, you know what? Just to watch it work, I almost like get tired of just the, it's just, it's just thing after thing after thing after thing. It's like it's like they don't even give you guys a rest. They keep you guys on the next thing to keep following the bouncing ball. I'm like, okay, I'm done, man. I can't. Okay, but when I say I'm done, I mean not done in a way of just I'm done watching the way they do you guys. The way you allow yourselves to be done. That's what's the crazy part about it. Just the way they just, man, it's just I'll be on my Facebook, and you guys don't understand that the psychological is a language. Not many people speak. Okay. When talking to debt slaves, you guys, if you've been in debt all your life, you don't know that it exists. Okay. So you speak a certain way when you speak about money, owning things that you don't own because it's mortgaged, right? When you guys talk about like OPM, other people's money, let's use that because you guys use that term a lot, other people's money. What you're really saying is the bank's money, okay? You guys say other people's, but you really mean the bank, okay? And I don't know if the bank made that up to make you guys, because the bank sounds too direct. Maybe they made that up. I don't know. Who knows? But you guys use it all the time. But what you guys don't understand is this. You guys have no choice but to use the bank's money. You can't buy a house in cash. So of course you have to use other people's money. You can't buy a brand new car in cash. Of course you have to use other people's money. So when you guys say that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna use other people's money so I could take my money and invest and earn more interest at 10%. That's a program. Okay. Would you guys don't know this is what you're saying that you don't know that you're saying. You're going to finance the car through the bank because you have no money. And what money you believe because you have no money, that's the real reason why you financing the car, because you don't have no money to buy it. So that means you have no money in the bank. And then you believe you have money in the bank. So you take that money that you believe is there and then you invest it. But what you're doing is really taking more of the bank's money and indirectly investing in it into the stock market for them. So they're really making money both ways. You're just the debt slave. You're the interpiece making it happen. Like if the stock market didn't offer margins for people to invest, the stock market, that would hurt the stock market because you guys have no money. You guys invest with borrowed money. You guys borrow money to invest, which means you are indirectly investing in the bank. So they got you both ways. So say like you used a credit card to invest. Say like you had $2,000 on a credit card, and you decided to use that $2,000 to invest in something in the stock market to earn 10% or whatever. What you don't know is this: the reason why you're using the credit card because you don't have $2,000 to invest of your own. So you're borrowing it from the bank, from their credit card at whatever percentage rate that credit card is, and then you're taking their money from that credit card and then you're investing it into the stock market for them. All because you didn't know from the very beginning you didn't have $2,000 to invest. What's up, Gabriel? Miss B. Slave splaining. Made up word. Oh, made up word cracks me up every time you say it. Yes, it's slave splaining for sure. Jacui says, when you're out in public, let me put this mic down. Hold up. When you're out in public and really listen to debt slaves' convos, I'll tell you every dumb financial decision they make, they say it out loud for the world to hear because they don't know what they're saying. Well, it's twofold. Excuse me. They don't know what they're saying, and they don't know the language of the psychological exists. They don't know it. That's why when we say, you know how we say, oh, they say it out loud for the world to say. They don't know that they're doing that. They think it's normal to say, hey, I took out a second mortgage to invest in some rental property so I can make a cash flow. They don't know that they just have 3 mortgages. They're not doing any cash flow and investing, nothing, anything. Because when they do that, right? They don't know anything about taxes. When they're in debt, I promise you, they don't know anything about taxes. So when they do stuff like that, I'm sure it's not set up right as a rental property through the IRS, through the proper paperwork, because when you come from the W-2 world where everything, all your taxes and stuff are done for you all your life, you're not just jumping over to the business side and understanding how it works when you got to do it all yourself. You're not. That is not happening. And when people do that, and I can guarantee you this because it seems like it would be mathematically obvious, I'm sure it's pretty obvious for the IRS to see when people try to come over and do that themselves. From not knowing anything, they're just going to try it themselves and do some business taxes. I'm pretty sure it's obvious, right? Like when I came over, I was like, I don't know anything about that. So I'm going to hire a professional. I'm going to just give him all my stuff, let him organize it, and I'll figure out, slowly every year when he does my taxes, I'll slowly learn this and that. Like like when you get here, let me give you a piece of advice. So say like you're leaving from the W-2 world and you're coming over, you starting a business, and you don't know anything about taxes, I strongly, strongly suggest you hire a professional. Okay, strongly suggest that, right? And then what you do is this. Before you start a business, I strongly suggest you get personally debt free first. When you come over to the business side, you'll know what I mean when you do that first. So when you come here, you'll organize your business finances a certain way. One bank account, one everything. This card is only used for business. All business purchases are here. You keep every receipt, take a picture. Everything's organized. Okay. Not many people come from W2 world and organize their shit like that. So I'm sure all of that, you tell the IRS every single bank account, all your transactions, what pay, if you use PayPal, if you use CashApp, whatever, you give it to them all. You say, hey, professional person, here is every single thing that I transmitted some money on to get something for the product or whatever, right? And then once you do that, the professionals say, hey, why don't you do it this way and combine that way and put it this way? And then they'll shrink it down to where it just be one streamline of way to, here's all the information. The bank knows everything. And now IRS, all your numbers will match. Okay, I promise you that. I promise you. Don't try to do, if you switch it, if you coming off of, you got to become debt free first. You got to become. What's up, 10 for a hat? SMD, so glad to get off work and catch this live. Appreciate it. My roommate, a real estate agent, is making around $40,000 this month. Okay, I congratulated him for his impending freedom as his student loans were $40,000. I chuckled. Okay, and I didn't even finish reading it. Okay, he chuckled and said he has no intentions of paying. See that? That's the program. Do you guys understand that, debt slaves? You guys don't understand that because you guys believe it's normal to keep student loan debt your entire life. Here's a man that has the money to free himself. Like right now, he doesn't even know. See, I'm going to bring you to the psychological, okay? He doesn't even know to open up the calculator, put in 40,000, the money he has, minus $40,000 in student loan debt, and hit equal. The calculator says zero. He has no money now. So this is what I mean by money is psychological. This is a great example. Okay, I'm gonna use this example. Let's bring this back up so you guys can understand, debt slaves. You guys don't understand the difference. Here's the psychological. So say like he was holding the $40,000 in his hand. Okay. All right. And if he opened up the calculator app with the other and put in 40,000, the cash in his hand, minus the $40,000 in student loan debt and hit equal, the calculator says zero. The calculator says he does not have $40,000 in his hand. Hence, currency is psychological for debt slaves. All currency, gold, money, everything's psychological. So he believes it. So say like he did this, like, and he has the calculator saying zero, and he has $40,000 in his hand. Here is the psychological part. Which do you believe? The laws of mathematics that are built into the calculator, which are never ever wrong, or the $40,000 that your eyes are saying, hey, there's $40,000 in my hand. I can touch it, feel it, smell it, spend it. Guess what he said he's going to do? He chuckled. He's going to stay in debt. He's going to ignore the calculator and believe the money in his hand. You guys all do that. What's up, Brian? Amazing. Isn't it? Hold on. Now take a step back. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? That's his freedom. So say like, see, this is what you got. Put it this way. Now let's do that scenario a different way. Okay, let's do it a different way. Say like there was a ball and chain around his ankle that weighed about 10 pounds, a big chain that he couldn't take off until he paid off the student loan debt. He had to wear it until every single penny of that student loan debt was paid back. What do you think he would do with what do you think he would do with that $40,000? He would pay that ASAP. That wouldn't even be a question in his brain. But what you guys don't know, the ball and chains are there. They're just psychological. You guys are dragging them everywhere. And everybody, listen, everybody's taking advantage of you guys, debt slaves. Everybody. Scammers, especially financial scammers, debt slaves. Do you know, once you understand SMD knowledge, do you know a financial scammer could never fool you again ever in your entire life until you're dead? Did you guys know that? Know why? Financial scammers don't know capitalism is psychological. That's why they're financial scammers. Financial scams can never make any mathematical sense because it's a scam. Listen to me closely. How to tell a financial scam? They cannot make mathematical sense because it's a scam. So they can't. That would be listen, in order for a financial scam to work, it has to go against the laws of mathematics. It has to. Now, you think financial scammers know that? They don't know that. They're scammers. He has a habit of taking vacations to the Caribbean islands. He said he'd disappear for a month and come back with a tan. Can't make this shit up. Sure can't. Isn't it beautiful? It's absolutely beautiful. You guys don't even get it. Once you come to the positive side of this, man, you guys don't even understand. It is absolutely beautiful. Millions of people believe they're homeowners with mortgages. Cash flowing. You know how many videos are out there? You guys telling you guys are cash flowing on rental properties? Holy moly. Even Dave Ramsey is telling you you can put away 15% into retirement while having a mortgage. What? Who said that? That's just business, though. That's just business. But you can't do that. Who said that? Dave? Now listen, I don't care that's called, listen, you guys, that's called business. There's nothing wrong with that. Because if it wasn't for Mr. Ramsey, I wouldn't have found my way out. And this is so funny. You know how I really got attracted to him? Is because so many people hated him. Oh, who do we think he is? And this and that. And I was like, okay, let me go check him out because you guys are really irritated by him. And then when I went over there, I just saw him using mathematics. I was like, and you guys hate him for what? That doesn't make any sense. He's just saying what translated to me, he said, take the calculator and my baby steps and get out of debt. And that's what I did. Until I got to the part he says, well, when you get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Mortgage is debt. That means I'm still in debt. That means I still have no money to put anything. Oh, that's business, Dave. Okay, see ya. Because I used to binge watch his videos, binge watch. I was like, oh my God, look at. Then once I got to a level of understanding this, I was like, oh, okay, it's no fun anymore. No different. Hey, listen, no different than Caleb. Did you guys know he's a debt slave too? He think he's investing while having student loan debt, teasing other debt slaves while having student loan debt. Listen, debt slaves? He's just one debt slave above you. He's just teasing you guys. He has you guys opening his shows. Do you guys understand that that's forever? When you go on his show and you open it, hey, welcome to financial, that's forever. And let me tell you something. If you ever come to SMD and you wake up, you are going to be so mad at yourself. You better use that video as a training video. That's the only way you're going to twist that around, because I promise you that if you wake up and you caught yourself on one of those videos, you're going to be so mad at yourself, because you guys are so abused on that show. You guys don't know. It's like a Jerry Springer. Caleb's like the Jerry Springer of debt slaves. Oh my God, it's bad. And he's a debt slave himself. Hey, here's my year ending, and I'm gonna keep my student loan debt. I'm not gonna pay it off, and I'm gonna earn interest. What? Oh, you're slave splaining. You're one of those kind of debt slaves that think they can invest with student loan debt. Ah, gotcha. You guys just don't understand debt slave. He's just a little bit smarter than you. He's still a debt slave. Oh my God, he's got 500,000 subscribers. What does that say? He's got a whole bunch of debt slaves following him. That's nothing more. That doesn't mean anything. You think I'm subscribed to him? Do you think other SMD members are subscribed to him? They probably are, just for fun. It's boring. Especially when you know he's a debt slave. At first, let me tell you something. At first, I used to follow him. I was like, this is cool. Haha, that's funny. Because he's talking all the right language. And then somebody sent me a link and said, hey, LJ, you might want to watch this. I was like, okay, cool. Come to find out, he has student loan debt. Then starts going on talking about buying properties and this and that, all mortgaged, every single one of them. It's like, oh shit. You're one of those debt slaves. Okay. All right. Because they seem to be a little bit smarter than you. But the ones on his show, whew. Honestly, let me tell you something. I don't think those guys are ever coming out of the debt matrix, the ones on his show. I don't think they're ever coming out. Because some of the things he knows how to pick them. He knows how to pick the worst ones too. He knows how to pick them. Shout out to 10-4 half for the $4.99. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. You're right. Scammers right now with the YouTube ads, they'll just, man, like ants. It's too late for them. Kids more, this is what I'm saying. For the SMD family members, when you guys, I'm talking to the ones that are on their way to zero, the ones just over zero, still discovering their journey and all this other stuff. It's going to be when they finally get rid of paper money, you guys got to understand, when they switch to central bank digital currency, the tax problems will be solved. You guys know how many tax problems are going to be solved by switching? They're going to be solved. A lot of them. That's going to solve so much work. Because right now we're in the new economy, so we're digitized, right? Everything is, it's just evolution. It just has to be that way, right? I'm sure the same thing happened with the dollar to transform it to $1 across the United States. I'm sure the same thing. It's got to be the same thing. We're just lucky to be alive during this transition. That's what I consider myself, lucky during this transition, right? It's going to solve, like, the major tax problem right now is that you guys got kicked out of your W-2 jobs straight into 1099. Just like I was saying earlier, you guys don't know about how taxes work or nothing. You guys go straight into 1099 jobs, and you guys have no idea how to pay taxes, so you don't. And then you guys get away with it for a year. You think nobody's saying nothing, and then you get comfortable, and then you adjust your entire life to not paying taxes. Higher rent places you couldn't normally afford if you were paying taxes, a better car you couldn't afford if you were paying taxes. You guys will adjust your life to that. And just simply, and then when you get so deep, you're too scared to pay. Oh man, it's been 5 years. I'm too scared to do it now. and then you permanently not do it or whatever. I have no idea. That's a problem. That's a big problem. It's too many of you. There's not enough. Yeah, they hired 87,000 agents. It's millions of people doing it. So 87,000 is nothing. See, central bank digital currency is about to solve that problem. I get it. Totally see it. Totally see it happening. It seems like it has to be a must. It got to be coming soon. Has to be. And it's not here, not just here. It has to happen everywhere, every country. Capitalism's everywhere. Listen, everywhere there's capitalism, everybody has to go to central bank digital currency. Everybody. Maybe they're waiting around to see who's going to do it first. I'm just glad to be alive to see it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it because what you guys don't know, it doesn't matter the form of the currency, Debt Slave. All currency is psychological for you. You guys think the currency right now, Bitcoin, you guys think that's real. That's not real. That's psychological currency. All cryptocurrencies are psychological. Okay? Right now, the paper money right now is the only one that isn't. It is, but it isn't because you guys can see it. Once they get rid of that paper, that's it. That's it, Debt Slaves. You guys are, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You know, all this, you know, when you understand how it works, right? And then you see people try to take large sums of money, paper money across borders, and okay, it has to be for illegal reasons because when you understand how it works, there is no purpose of doing that. When I hear about, like, when I watch TV shows and people doing that, one is illegal, okay, and one sometimes it does end up being legit, but they just doing it. But you guys fail to understand. There's still a reason why they're doing it because when you understand how it works, there's no need to do that. We say, Gabriel, once the paper money gets eliminated, that will change the game. Sure is, and it's coming. I'm telling you, Debt Slaves. I'm telling you, when central bank digital currency comes, you guys are in trouble, man. You guys are in trouble. Yeah, no running. Don't start running now. No, you guys are done. You guys are done. You guys are done. You guys ain't gonna be able to run from that. Listen, it ain't gonna be no more of not paying my taxes, not filing for taxes and all that stuff. Those days are gonna be over. Those days are done. I'm just happy to be alive to see it. What's up, October? What's up, Cosmic? I'm excited. What are they going to do next? And I don't want you guys to think that I know something's more than you, I'm smarter than you, and all this stuff. I don't want you guys thinking that. And I don't even like using levels. You know what? It's a perspective. And there's only one, and that's the mathematical one. And if you don't agree with it, that's just your problem. You know, especially now, what you guys don't really understand is this now, when you have this perspective and understand how it works, and then you see all these analysts all these analysts on TV with charts in the background and all this other stuff. You guys have no idea what any of that means. You know how I know that? Like, if say like you're a person that thinks you pays it, you know what the stock market is, and you see the numbers scrolling across the screen, and you know what the graph charts is. And if I turned to you and said, "Do you know how much debt you're in?" and you said you don't know what you're looking at on the chart screen and this and that. You guys have no idea. If you don't even know how much debt you're in, you don't know anything about finance. None. I can promise you that. If I said, "Hey man, how much debt are you in personally?" and you said, "I don't know," you don't know anything. Because if you don't know, you know what that means? You also know you don't own yourself. If you don't know how much debt you're in, you don't own yourself. Because I do. If somebody said, "Hey OJ, do you know how much debt you're in?" I would say zero, none, zero. I own me. Like if I needed to go get I needed to go to get a business loan, and the bank runs my credit report, guess what they're going to see? They're going to see I own me too. They're going to see a 53-year-old man with no debt, which they don't see. They don't see that anywhere. Rarely, excuse me, not anywhere, but very rarely. And once they see it at age 53, they run my credit report and see that I have no debt. They're going to clearly understand that I know capitalism is psychological. I promise you that. There are very few people at age 53 with no debt on their credit report. Okay. Millions of people. Okay. Millions all over the world. Okay. Because there's a credit system everywhere, all capitalist system at least. They're going to look at my credit report and say, "Oh shit, he knows. Okay. Well, here, sir, here's the best rate because we know you're not going to accept anything less." I sure the fuck not. You know why I'm here. I'm gonna be coming to the bank with a payoff plan. Hey, I'm gonna get this loan. It's gonna be paid off in 3 years, 5 months, and I need a rate right there. Everything's gonna be laid out. How many people you think come to the bank saying that kind of shit? Not many. I'm there because I'm not paying it back. You guys, my customers are paying it back. Debt slaves are paying that money back. When you're on the pot, see, this is what you guys don't. This is what you guys don't understand either. When you understand how it works, and on the positive side, you get another type of income. It's called phantom income. You're probably thinking, "Well, what is that?" The only physical representation I can say that you guys are familiar, because phantom income is many things, but the main thing is this: saving money on taxes. Debt slaves can't do that. That's called phantom income. You guys can't. You guys can't reduce your tax bracket. So think about it this way. Imagine how many six-figure earners out there that are up to their eyeballs in debt. And guess what you guys can't do? You can't reduce your tax bracket. Why? Because people in debt can't do it. That's called only people that are not in debt on the positive side. That's called phantom income. We get to do that. We get to invest in things that can reduce their tax bracket, but you have to have money to do it, which you guys do not have. You're like, "Hey, well, they said if I invest $10,000 to my 401k, I'll be able to take $10,000 off my taxable annual income, and which will reduce me in my tax bracket." I understand that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But all you got to do is log into your bank account. Do you got $10,000 in there? No, then they're not talking to you. Is that you? Are you thinking that? Are you investing in your 401k thinking you're getting a tax break while having a mortgage? You're not. You can't do that. Did you fall for the trick of investing? Living in one, doing what they call the house hacking, live on one side and you live on the other and have the renter pay you. That's a program, debt slaves. Who told you that? The only people telling you to do that are people with mortgages. Again, you know how many people on making videos talk about cash flowing? All you got to do is this. When the next time somebody tells you about cash flow from a rental property, you say, "Are you talking about a mortgage rental property?" And they say yes. You need to stop listening to them because you can't cash flow from mortgage rental properties. You can't do that. You can't cash flow from mortgage rental properties. Now, some of you guys will say, then what am I pulling out, LJ? I don't know what you're pulling out. I'm just telling you a mathematical fact. You cannot cash flow from a mortgage rental property. All you got to do is go through the videos. Hey, especially that guy named Chris Crone, whatever his name is. Go check it. He got it all day long telling you guys can own with no money. Talking about cash flowing from mortgage rental properties. You can't do that. But don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at it. It's called business. I'm not just, listen, the housing market could not exist without people with mortgages. Without people believing that they can buy houses with mortgages, the housing market wouldn't exist. Do you understand when you're on the positive side of the economy, you understand that the whole housing market is bank owned, okay? Every house is available. They just don't know it. Everybody with a mortgage, their house is available. Just maybe they just got to wait for the economy to do something. That's it. Wait for a factory to close. Wait for an Amazon to come somewhere or whatever, right? Soon as, listen, you got money. Soon as Amazon breaks ground, start buying up apartment places around. You start, listen, look for what these are like big boy clues, okay? Think about one day you're in a particular neighborhood and a Starbucks pops up. And you probably ask yourself, why would a Starbucks pop up here? That means there's probably a 10-year plan coming. That's what I would assume. That's what I've always seen with Starbucks. I'll see a Starbucks pop up somewhere out in an odd place, not in one of the regular places, right? But just in a very odd place off by itself. And I'm like, why would you guys put it here? Wait for 10 years. And then you'll figure it out. They did that in Seattle before the Amazon fulfillment center, before they built it there, right? This was in a damn near like a cow field, farmland, right? You know, a little strip mall area, and then a nice hotel, and a Starbucks was inside the strip mall. I was like, why in the hell would they put that here? Nothing's close. I was looking around. I said, there's nothing around here but more farmland. Next thing you know, an Amazon fulfillment center on both sides of the street bought up all the farmland. You think the big boys don't talk? Those are positive big boys. Why would they talk to you guys? They don't talk to debt slaves. There is no purpose to talking to you guys. There's no, when you understand, there's no purpose to talking to somebody that doesn't even know they don't even own themselves. This is why it's so beautiful. I'm just in awe. But what you got to also understand is when you come to this perspective, there are very, very few people with this perspective. Because it not only changes this life. Hold on. It changes your whole life. Your entire perspective of your life changes forever. Now, I always say this to people that might be in relationships and they come across SMD. And one of you guys wake up and the other one doesn't. I have some bad news for you. That relationship's pretty much over. I don't care if you're married, if you have kids, if you wake up and find out you're a debt slave and paying off and own yourself is a change of life, no more stress, and you try to tell your partner and your partner says, nope, that's normal. That's the only way to get a house is a mortgage. That's the only way to have a nice car is car payments. I got some bad news for you. That relationship's going to be over. Because once you get out of debt, you're going to have a different kind of peace. You're going to realize stress is not part of life. There is not. I saw the other day in a chat group somebody talking about good stress. I couldn't believe I heard that. Just like when people say good debt, somebody said, "Oh, there's some good stress." When you're trying to know, stress is stress. Because you guys already believe stress is normal. So hearing somebody call it good, you'll think, oh, okay. I guess it's normal to stress about something, even when it's good. No, that's not true. See, and you guys start to believe everybody has stress. You don't really come across a person, somebody says, hey man, are you in stress? Nope, I have none. First of all, they're going to think you're lying. Oh, everybody has stress, this and that. No, I don't have stress. I don't allow it. QJC says, mortgage rental property, shaking my head, only works when the tenant pays on time every month and another pandemic doesn't come. For sure. Cosmic says, LJ, I'm hearing folks say they are going to refuse paying their student loans now. I heard about that. I did. People out here pissed. You know what? I'm going to bring you to the positive side, debt slaves. That's what they want you to do. They want you to stop paying them. You know why? More interest. Because what you don't understand is this: student loans are not going anywhere. What are you going to do? Stop working? You got to eat. That means you got to have a job. You think they're not going to get their money? They're going to take it from your check. Especially when they go to central bank digital currency. They want you guys to protest. We're not going to pay our student loan debt. That means more money. Because you guys you don't understand. The only way you're getting out of that, you have to pay them off. You have to. And when you're in debt, behind on your taxes, owing the IRS, because what you guys don't understand, this is what you guys don't understand, debt slaves, that are not paying your taxes. And I got some bad news for you. Hold on. Let me turn this AC off. This is what you guys don't understand, debt slaves. And this is why it's really like a slap in the face to the IRS. Really, like when you guys just not doing it. Everybody you guys work for, they're reporting the big companies that you guys work for, they do their taxes. They're reporting to everybody that they're paying and everybody that they paid over years. Okay, it's all recorded. What do you think is going to happen when we switch to central bank digital currency? They know how much you guys owe. They know how much they're missing right now. They know. That has to stop. I get it. Totally understand it. I can't wait to see how they do it. Is that you? Have you not paid your taxes? Here, let me give you some strong advice, okay? And it won't be so bad if you do it this way, okay? All right. It won't be as bad. If this is you and you haven't paid your taxes in 5 years, okay, say like this you 6, maybe longer, whatever, right? And you're terrified. You don't know what they're going to do to you. You don't know if you're going to be in major trouble, blah, blah, blah. This is what I strongly suggest you do. Go hire a lawyer, a professional tax. No, matter of fact, go hire a professional tax person, lawyer / whatever, as long as it is a professional. Okay. You get with this. The reason why first of all, why I say hire a professional, because when they finally turn that paperwork in, the IRS will know that it came from a professional and not from a person that hasn't done their taxes in 6 years. So that'll tell them at least you're serious about it because you paid somebody to do this. So you're obviously serious about it, to getting this shit straight. They want you to get it straight. I promise you. They want you to get back on track and start paying your taxes properly. But if you go to them professionally, I promise you, they'll be like, okay. I mean, let me not say promise you because I don't know, right? I'm just saying, from my opinion, all right, if you come to them with your stuff in order, everything there, you're not hiding any accounts, you're not hiding any money, you gave the professional all your financial information over all the years, gave it to them, they put it all together, submit it to the IRS, they'll see it's done professionally, they can put all these numbers together, and of course you're going to get penalized for something because you can't get away for not doing it, but you will get back on track so you can eliminate that fear that you have to live with right now. Because right now, you guys that are not paying your taxes, you guys are living with a fear right now. You might not talk about it. You guys joke about it with you. Oh, I haven't paid mine. And you guys compare, you guys will get in a group and compare how each one of you guys haven't paid your taxes in years. If you're in a crowd like that and you do that, you're in the wrong crowd. You need to save your money and go to them first. Do not let the IRS have to waste resources looking for you. Go hire, save some money, find out a professional. Try to, if you can, okay, if you can find a professional tax person, tax lawyer who's personally debt free. I know that's probably going to be slim to none. Okay. That would be my preference if you can find a tax, because I know you guys don't listen. Okay, no, I'm gonna suggest this, okay? Because I don't want you to just reach out to the cheapest tax person, the cheapest lawyer. They must be personally debt free. Okay. I don't know how you're gonna do it. I haven't figured that plan out yet, but they must be personally debt free. Okay. It has to be. I want you to be able to submit your paperwork right the first time to the IRS, okay? Don't have them going back and forth sending you letters. This is wrong. This box is checked wrong. I want you to hire the professional that knows what to do so they can clearly see you wasn't committing tax evasion. You was just messing up by not paying your taxes. Tax evasion is different. Like your purpose, even though, okay, listen, even though you're not paying your taxes, that is on purpose. But there's people out there that are saying, fuck it, I'm never doing it. I'm gonna hide some companies, I'm gonna do this. That's clear tax evasion. You're a person that just fucked up not paying it. Okay. Just do it. Once you get it right, you'll start to understand how it all works. There's a reason for it. You just don't understand it because you're on the wrong side of it. Once you get all that right, you'll understand that taxes help build wealth. They don't take away, they help build it. What's up, Nick? Experts expect gas prices could get to $2.50 by this coming fall. LJ, you think the restart of the student loan payments have something to do with that? Uh, yeah. There must be balance, QJC. There has to be. Because if you, and this is just my opinion, it just seems pretty obvious to me. If you make it too far out of balance, that'll wake them up. If they said, "Damn, I can't even afford to buy a gallon of gas," that'll be a problem. That's when you got to remember, if things get too high, people start stealing. You see what's happening in California right now. Now, when I look like, okay, so now when I look at knowing that capitalism is psychological, okay, and I look at California with all these break-ins of cars and snatch and grabs out of stores, I go, why are they allowing that? Now you're probably thinking to myself, well, what do you mean? Why are they allowing that? You think say I'm a tourist and I hear that happening in San Francisco, California. I'm not going there. They obviously look. They obviously don't have that under control. I guess I'm not going there. Because you look at these videos on Dubai, right? People can leave. I mean, according to the videos, okay. I don't know what part of Dubai they're talking about, but it might be. We don't know if it's the rich part of Dubai. I don't know because I don't know over there, right? Because there's bad parts everywhere. I don't want people to thinking that that's true. But they say that you could leave your phone somewhere, or somebody's not going to snatch your bag or something like that. If that's true, how are they doing that? There's obviously a serious consequence for it. Because say like because like these thieves are breaking in people's cars right in front of people, broad daylight. Now, say like they passed a law that says, hey, if you see somebody go in your car, you have the right to shoot them. That would stop. That would immediately stop. There would be no more car break-ins. There would be none of that. But if somebody's breaking in your car and they know you can't shoot them and you go to prison, what's the big deal? They're not going to be nothing. But if they knew they could be shot, that would be different. So I think to myself, why are they allowing that? I don't get it. People coming to San Francisco, I saw it on the video. People coming to San Francisco to enjoy the fireworks, come back, their cars broken into all the way down the block. Some of them in broad daylight. Some of them in broad daylight. At some point, that has to stop because that's going to ruin the economy of California. Are they trying to move people out? Maybe this is what I think, and this is just my opinion. Maybe they think California's too crowded because it seems like it to me. That would be a quick way because hey, we're getting out of here. We're going to Texas. Maybe that's what California wants. Maybe it's overcrowded. They want all these people to get out of here. What's the easiest way to do it? Let crime run rampant, and then everybody will move. Raise the taxes you guys really don't understand how taxes really work. They can change neighborhoods with taxes. People talking about like gentrification of, when they add, even when I see that, I think, why do they add that word? So you can think it has something to do with gender or something, black or whatever, right? It's just like they just words. All they do is just raise the taxes, and people with no money got to get out. The banks are, listen, you guys don't understand this. Everybody has mortgages. The banks already know what neighborhoods they can move out quickly or whatever. They could just look at the records. Who's paying their mortgages on time and who's not? Who has subprime mortgages? Who has student? They already know. All of you guys believe you guys own houses with mortgages. We say 10-4. Yep, I live in California, and where I am, the Target store has armory glass for toothbrushes and deodorant. You need to ask to help unlock it. Now, and you think about it. How long can that go on? Say like you've been living in this particular neighborhood all your life and you've always been able to go to this store. And now every time you got to go to the store, you got to ask for help to come to the, how long you think that's going to last? My personal opinion, I think they just think California's too overcrowded and they're getting people out. Because listen, I know what they're showing us on TV, but I guarantee you there are neighborhoods where that doesn't happen. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. People with money have the money to make sure that doesn't happen in their neighborhoods. So say like the robbers started getting bold and they said, hey man, we might as well go up to uptown to get into the other neighborhood. Well, these neighborhoods, they can hire more people to stop them doing it. So they're not just going to be rolling up on cars and nobody's going to be startled from them. No, they're going to be arrested. They're going to think twice and go and stick down with the easy targets where nobody's bothering them. I just think they want to move people out of California. That's the only logical thing that makes sense to me. Because you got to think about it, the bigger picture. Let's go bigger. Everybody, the way it was before 2020, everybody would go to California to become famous. Movies, to become a star, everybody had to go to California. So everybody went to California. The weather, the beaches. Can you imagine the crowdedness of it? The traffic. Oh, the freeways in California were horrible. I don't know. If you're in California right now, are the freeways, are they starting to clear up? Is the traffic not as tight anymore? That if the traffic is not as bad as it was before, that means the plan is working. People in California, you guys know how bad the traffic has been there for years. How's the traffic now? Is it getting better? Have you noticed you've been able to get to work quicker? You've been able to jump on the 405 and just cruise on through? Because when I go home to Seattle, that shit is horrible. Horrible. Traffic is horrible. And it rains there all the time. But don't let it rain during traffic. What happens all the time, which rains all the time, that means bad traffic all the time. And that would means one accident. You're done. Toast. You're on the freeway for hours. Now imagine getting off work at 5 and you're on the freeway for 2 hours, 3 hours because of an accident. Sure is. Silent. I mean, you're in California, Gabriel, right? How's the traffic on the freeways? Is it getting better? Is it getting lighter? People don't look at that. What's the best way to clear people out? Crime. You let the thieves do what they do. Because it can be controlled. All you got to do is slap some time on them. You get caught breaking in the car, you get 5 years. The car break-ins will slow down. Maybe California is pushing for profit prisons. Because I know they was getting on California for profit prisons. Oh, that's bad. You get enough crime in California, they'll be begging them. Okay, we're cool with it now. We're cool. We need this to stop. Okay. For profit prisons back on the ballot or whatever the crap is. Oh, you're in Florida. Okay, my bad. I thought you was in California. Slap some time on it. You guys don't really understand. It's a bigger picture. When crime get bad enough, people will think twice about the for-profit prisons now. They'll be like, okay, we get it. We're cool with it. Maybe there's a bigger picture. Because this is how I see it. You let it get too bad, that means money's going to start coming out of the pockets of some important people, and they can't have that. That's where it's going to stop. Okay, the money starts coming out the bigger pockets. Okay, now it's time to slow it up, and then they're going to just change up some laws. If you look in history, I'm sure there's a time that something similar happened, but in a different way. All you got to do is look up and see how they solved it. Crime didn't just start in our time. Crime has been here for centuries. So just look back through history, look back at a bad time, and look at, back in the 80s when crack first hit the streets. You remember the slums and see how bad they looked? Now go look at those same neighborhoods. Do they still look the same the way they look in the 80s? Nope. What do they look like today? Go look at downtown Detroit. Go check out the first Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy, where they do a lot of downtown Detroit scenes. and then go pull up downtown Detroit on Google. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, also before, now so say like you look up those neighborhoods before. Okay, what happened before? Now, then all of a sudden the cities were looking horrible. What do you think they had to do to clean it up? They had to, because crime was free. They was just running, doing whatever, because nobody wanted to live there. Nobody wanted to be around there. Cops barely checked on it, whatever, let them. But when it's time to upgrade that neighborhood, what do you think happened? All you got to do is, how'd they clean up the city? What did they do? That's all you got to look up. That's exactly what they're going to do here. Whatever they did to clean up downtown Detroit, downtown Seattle, they're going to do the same thing there. You think they don't know how to stop those criminals from breaking in cars? We didn't start in 2020. Capitalism has a place for everybody because it has to all work together because it all exists. There will always be criminals. There will always be people that do bad things, break laws, but the system is designed to handle those people. Criminals are temporary. They don't know their lives are temporary. That's temporary. You think you're going? You think you're going to be breaking in cars for the next 10 years? No, that's temporary. It's going to stop either by yourself or something else. Maybe they break in the wrong car of a person that had a bad day, lost his family and wife and everything to a car accident, and that person breaks in their car. And guess what? At that point, they don't care about the laws. Ten four says so. Under 1,000 car theft is not a felony here. See? So guess what thieves are going to do? Keep it under $1,000 because they're thieves. Even setting that, it's still a misdemeanor. You're still on record for stealing, theft. Oh, it's a misdemeanor. It's not nothing. They think misdemeanors are nothing. No, it's something. A misdemeanor theft, it might as well be a felony. Oh man, that's okay. It was a misdemeanor theft. Oh, I just stole a candy bar. If you just stole a candy bar, okay, well, shit. You go. What happens when something's bigger? Stuck on freeway while being a debt slave during regular work week. That's man, that was horrible. I ain't gonna lie, but I couldn't do it today though. But I have family members in San Jose, and they say the same thing. My family, LJ, exactly what you're saying. I know. I bet. I get it. And then what are the people going to do? They're going to beg for their city to get cleaned up. And they're going to accept whatever proposal they're going to come with. I'm sure listen, I'm sure it's already set. Criminals can be controlled, okay? That's not difficult. That's centuries of practice, centuries. Criminals are not doing anything new. They just think they are because of the new time. They're still criminals. Would you say when I lived in Los Angeles, the traffic was unbearable. I moved 3 years ago, and thank good. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was horrible. Seattle traffic is horrible right now. It's so funny. I see all these Teslas in Seattle. They didn't used to be that many, but there's so many now, right? They're in a Tesla stuck in traffic. They think, listen, they think debt slaves. This is crazy about debt slaves. And congratulations to Tesla. Congratulations to the capitalist system. Congratulations. They think if they're stuck in traffic because they don't have to hold on to the steering wheel, they don't have to drive. They think it's different. You're still stuck in traffic. It is bananas. Oh, at least I don't have to drive, man. It's so much better. I don't really have to pay attention to start and stop. You're still there. Debt slave, you're just in a Tesla. And debt slave, imagine how many Teslas are financed too. They all think they're saving money on gas. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's like innovation. That's like Elon. Elon is like 50 years out. Elon's Elon is 50 years out. Now I know you guys come here and you guys don't know when you hear me say things, but you guys have no idea. Like Apple's nervous. You guys understand that? Apple's nervous for two reasons, okay? And this is just my opinion, okay? Apple's nervous. Number one, they've kept their phone with the same look for a decade. Elon understands that debt slaves love new shiny shit. They love change. They love it. Not only change, that's just one. His phones are going to work off of satellites. He's going to have the coolest phone. Because if you think Elon is going to come with a corny ass phone, now I know a lot of you guys who are Apple fanatics. Nobody can take an Apple. I guarantee you, Elon will. I can only imagine what his phone's going to be able to do, and you're not going to have any dead spots. You mean you could fly on the other side of the world and hop off the plane, turn your phone on, and it's going to work? Hell, the shit's going to work in the air. You can use your phone on the plane. You'll be getting your internet the same way planes do. Excuse me. You'll be getting your phone calls and your internet on your phone the same way the plane. Hell, you don't need to use the plane service. You can use your own. Apple has to be nervous. They have to be. No different than the Cybertruck. All these car manufacturers with the same looking truck. Everybody, and here comes Elon with a whole totally different truck. Debt slaves are all over that shit. Wait till the phone. Elon's eliminating. He is eliminating the competition. Eliminating. Elon's like, what? Oh no, Apple. Oh, AT&T. Oh, car manufacturers. See ya. See ya. Yeah. See ya. Yeah. That was Elon. Congratulations to you, Mr. Musk. If you ever hear this, congratulations to you, sir. He just, man, good. See you later, Uber and Lyft. All you guys, listen, all you guys driving, that you guys are driving, dropping off people, delivering food from restaurants, that's coming to an end. I hope you guys are looking for new jobs. Because Uber and Lyft ain't going to be around. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep up. I have no idea how they're going to be able to stay. It's like taxi cabs. When Uber came and took over taxi cabs, Elon's doing that to Uber now. You remember, you see what Uber and Lyft did with the taxi cabs, right? Okay. You see a taxi, you're like, why are they still on the road? Right? You'll see a taxi. When I see a taxi, I'm like, they still have taxis here? Who's driving that? I just want to go up to a taxi driver and say, how much money are you making? What? Because I remember they used to have to pay a ridiculous price for the plaque on the car and all this other crazy nonsense. Uber Lyft comes along, knocks them out. Guess who's going to come across? Hey, Tesla. Goodbye. All you drivers, This is what I strongly. It's gonna be some years, okay? It's gonna take a minute, but listen, get your taxes straight now while you're making money delivering shit. Get your taxes straight because that opportunity is about to be gone. You're probably saying to yourself, "Well, LJ, why do you think that?" Because Uber controls every single one of their cars today. I mean, excuse me, Tesla. Tesla controls every single one of their cars today. Every single one of them. Uber and Lyft do not. Tesla is not going to need any drivers. Uber and Lyft need drivers. People. People that mess up, people that don't want to work, people that don't want to do something, people that don't listen, people that don't want to pay their taxes. That whole problem is solved. Listen, when Tesla goes live with theirs, who do you think is going to be on my phone? Tesla. I don't have food delivered. I just don't do that. But if I ever did, guess what service I'm gonna have do it? Tesla. My food's gonna be here safe. I don't have to worry about tipping if I don't want to, because I've seen videos of people, food deliverers getting mad because they didn't get tipped and get the food thrown. Te- Elon's about to solve that whole problem. They'll be able to, what do you say? They'll be able to stay just bought out by the highest bidder. Uh, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying like this because I've had this happen more than one time. Okay, when I call a Uber and the car is just not very clean, smelling like cigarette smoke, and I don't smoke, and I cannot stand get in a car, a Uber driver's car of a person that smokes. I just cannot stand that because people that smoke don't understand how horrible cigarette smoke smells to people that don't smoke. And I know they try to air out or whatever, but it's all in the car. You can just smell it. Knowing that that will never happen with a Tesla, I'm going to be choosing a Tesla every single time. What'd you say? I can see Uber website with a Tesla company at the bottom. Yes, they are buying. Uber is buying Tesla cars because they know they have to. I was wondering what they're going to do. They have to do something. I knew they had to buy. They bought a whole bunch of Tesla cars. Did you see the DoorDash pizza one recently? No, I haven't. What's that? LJ, how would Tesla give the food to the customer? Well, just the car would pull up and notify them with an app, and then the customer would have to come down and get the food or come out the door or whatever. I promise you, a customer will be more than happy to come get their food from a car that they know their food hasn't been touched, or feel the pressure of tipping, because that's got to be the worst for a person that just wants some food delivered, right? It's already extra money. You're paying a lot, and then the people that drive it. Now, I'm not against tipping or whatever, right? But I don't like when it's just demanded. I just don't like that. I can't stand that. He cursed the lady at for for a $5 tip on a $20 pizza. At the it was caught on door cam or something. It was a side view. I think I might have saw that. And those are the ones that get caught on camera. These are things that people don't talk about. They don't talk about these type of things, but it happens because not everybody makes a video about a bad experience from a delivery driver doing something because they didn't get a tip. Can you imagine you order something and you didn't tip them the first time, and then you order something again and it happens to be the same person, and this person says, "Oh man, this cheap motherfucker, they didn't tip. I'm gonna do this and that because you didn't tip them." So now people that have their food delivered, they're kind of like, I don't want to really mess around, so I'm gonna tip this person because I don't want them to mess with my food. So the person would have to come out and get the food from the car for sure. So, say like the app comes, so it'll be something simple. You come down, app, push a button, the door pops open, you grab your food, close the door, something simple. What's up, Wayman? What's going on, sir? Stays in your clothes too. Oh, yeah. It's nasty when a beautiful woman from afar has hair that smells like black and mild. Ooh, up close. Ooh, especially black and mild. I can't stand the smell of those. Woo. I can't stand. Well, people probably don't like the smell of weed either. So I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, I can't stand the smokers. I can't stand the smell of cigarette smokes. I can't. I never could, even when I was young. Even when I was young. Anyway, let me put this link over here just in case you guys have some questions here. Let me put that out there. I don't know. I guess I just came on tonight, man, because I'm the internet, social media, and the internet. It's like TV to me. I don't watch TV because I know it's just full of commercials, and social media is just full of death slaves. You guys are just you guys be lying to each other so much. It's just so crazy. Oh my God, there's so many things out there, and you guys got all these people on the internet talking about, oh, we caught him, he's a scammer, and this and that, and we busted him, and it's like, okay, if you need somebody to tell you a person's a financial scammer, you are in trouble. Because even people on that, what's that, EYL or whatever that channel is, I see all the people. I just didn't watch the channel because I knew what it was filled with: debt slaves giving you guys financial advice. It's not a trick. It wasn't a scam. It's like like when you see people, listen, when you see a person, well, you guys don't know, it's a psychological thing. I'm gonna tell you from my view that you guys can't see. When I see a person get on a popular podcast show and they're saying things not making any mathematical sense, that usually means they paid the person to be on the show. Whoever the host of the show is, the person that came on the show paid that person because they didn't check. If they didn't check the person that's on the show, that means they got paid. Why would you have a person on your popular podcast give your audience financial information and you not check and see if he's full of shit or not? That does the only relevant rational explanation is that they paid to be on that person's show. If they paid to be on that person's show, it doesn't matter what they're doing or what their background is or nothing, because they paid. Because I can guarantee you this channel here, you guys will never ever see me have a guest on this show who's a debt slave giving financial advice to the subscribers of this channel. Never in a million years. This is why I love what I do. I change people's lives forever. Now, I know you guys say, oh, Linnell, you ain't making no money yet. But it's not about the money. You guys don't understand, the money's coming. I'm changing people's lives now. The money comes right after that. It really does. Once enough people understand, they say, hey man, you come across LJ, man, he's the truth. He'll change your life. It's just a matter of time. And once you see that credit reports are really owner's ledgers, it's gonna blow your mind. If you've never been to zero in your life and you really understand what credit reports really are, you're gonna be blown away. You're gonna be like, what? What do you mean it only takes one day to buy a house? I never owned equity in a house, in a mortgaged house? Nope. So you mean the housing market wouldn't exist if it wasn't for mortgages? No, it wouldn't exist. You think all these car lots would exist if people were paying cash for cars? Of course not. Why do you guys think they made it the law to have car insurance? Because you guys didn't have money to buy the car. Of course, the law, they have to be insured by you guys. You guys didn't even have the money to buy it. If they let you finance the car and not require insurance and you wreck it, guess what? You have no money to fix it because you didn't have no money to buy it. So of course it's the law. If there were not people on the positive side of the economy making the calls, you guys would be lost. Now, all the financial stuff and the scammers and the confusion on social media, that's supposed to be there. Because if it wasn't there, you guys would wake up too easily. You guys, that causes confusion. Did you guys know math doesn't care about any of that? Math doesn't care where you grew up. If you're a man or a woman, if you got a college degree, if you don't, if you're a doctor or a janitor, the math doesn't care about any of that. 1 plus 1 equals 2, regardless of where you live or how you grew up or your color of your skin, if you're Jewish, if you're Chinese, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Once you come to this side, you will speak a different language. And then you will meet different people that want success for you. Because if if I can help you be successful, that brings success to me. If I can help you become wealthy, that helps me. Every time, like, let me give you an example. Fresh and Fit, Fresh. I help Fresh. Now I guarantee you when Fresh brings me on his show, on his not Fresh and Fit, but his personal Fresh Prince CEO show, I bet you the people that follow him probably say, "Why is he bringing this guy on the show?" He doesn't go with anything that Fresh talks about on the show. Anything. SMD, if you go over to Fresh Prince CEO's channel and find the interview I did with him, you will notice that I don't go with anything on the show. Have you noticed that? Just go over there and check it out and say, why is it here? Because I was part of his success. So he's just paying it forward back to me. So he puts me on his show. So if I help him be successful, he helps me. So even though the majority of his people, that subscribers that don't follow me, there's going to be 1 or 2 that's going to watch the show and then they're going to follow me from his show because he has a bigger audience. That's how it works. That's what happens when you change people's lives. They're thankful forever. And it's not like a thank that they owe me forever. No, it literally changes their life forever and they know it. When they understand what I speak now, they're like, you wasn't really saying anything complex, LJ. Not at all. You're just talking about basic arithmetic. Yes. Nobody on the internet talks like you. No. Do you know that? Yes. The majority of people in all capitalist economies, they don't know it's psychological. They don't know that. And just like I said earlier, everybody has to go digital everywhere. Not just us, everybody. Who's going to do it first? Maybe that's the running thing right now. Who's going to take the giant leap? See, that's where people like Elon Musk come in. Who's going to take the giant leap into electric cars? Who's going to make them not so ugly? Who's going to make them cool and fast? And Elon did it. And then all the other manufacturers come out with electric cars. You think they just started that? They've been had it. He came out with his, and then magically all the other car manufacturers start coming out with electric cars. They've been sitting on that technology for years. Elon just forced their hand. So many people don't accept the basics. We learned this in elementary school, though, for sure, with the blacks and the red and the green. Sure did. Yep, sure did. Sure did. They still do it. And now, if they're still doing it, and now Nick and I are 20 years apart. So that means they're still doing the same thing they did with me when I was a kid. So that means they're still doing it. Any school teachers in the house? Any elementary school teachers in the house? Are you guys still teaching kids 0 in the middle, positive numbers on green on the right, negative numbers in red on the left? You guys still teaching the kids that? I sure hope they're still teaching the math and money games, because I remember that. Let them kids know that's all they need to know about money. Never forget this lesson, kids. All right, here's $1. I'm gonna add a dime. How much is that? That's $1.10. All right. Okay, here's $1. Put out some quarters. Here's 4 quarters is $1. Yes, if I take away a quarter, what do you have? 75 cents. Teach them that negative. They got to understand it. Especially those negative numbers. Especially the negative numbers. Minus. And would you and I know this is what I remember. I didn't have many of these, which when they had me do like minus, right? They would always have the bigger number on top with the smaller number on the bottom. They never really had the big number, the small number on top with a big number on the bottom. They never really gave me problems like that. And I noticed even with the calculator, you can't start with a negative number on the calculator, so I got to trick it. It won't even, at least my calculator on Android, they won't let me start with a negative number. Why not? Negative number is a number, but the calculator won't recognize it. I don't know why that is. What'd you say? Nick says, do you have more red blocks than green? Right. That's like for sure. Now, my man Nick here, man, soaking it up quick. Nick and I be going deep. Real deep. Not very. And when you guys come on this side, and it's really I don't want to say level, I want to say it's a perspective. It's a totally different perspective. It's almost like, I want to use the word future, but future is a made up word because the future doesn't exist. Okay. That's a thing that the future is for debt slaves, because all you guys finances are everything's in the future. So if you think about it, if you're a debt slave listening to this right now, and you're thinking about your finances, is all your money in the future when you sell the house, when you get to retirement, when the stock matures, when the 5 years vested? If everything's in the future, that means you're probably a debt slave, because it doesn't exist. If all your money is the future, that means you don't have any money today in the present. That's what that means. And when you understand that there's only one perspective in the capitalism, which is the mathematical perspective, you pretty much have a straight shot of what you might call the future. It's not really the future. It's just, obviously, it's the mathematical obvious. Like, here, let me give an example. I'm gonna give you guys an example, okay? Debt slaves, you guys have no money, okay? But you don't know you have no money. When you're born, you're told that you got to go to school, and then when you go to school, you got to go to college, okay? And they say college costs a lot of money, but what you don't know is that you don't have any money the whole time you're in school. You have absolutely no money, and they already know you're not going to have any money when it comes to college. So of course you're going to borrow the money, because you're trained all the way through that you're not going to be shit unless you go to college. So the only way you're going to do it is to borrow money. You're going to have to borrow student loan money because you have no money. They already know that since the day you were born. That's just how it works. That's like the mathematical obvious. Because when you're going as a kid, yes, you're told that you must go to college to be something, but nobody's telling you how it's going to be paid for it. Nobody's telling you who's going to pay for this college. Nobody's telling you how, hey, mom, dad, how am I going to pay for it? They're never going to, most of them don't have any answer. Student loan debt is the answer. You got to get student loan debt like me. You still got your student loan debt, mom? Yeah. So you're never going to pay it off? Nah, we just keep it for life. Only debt slaves keep student loan debt for life. I promise you that. I throw some got stuff in the Discord. Okay. Cool. We say, Nick, how's that Coinbase account looking? Right? When student loans start, you're gonna liquidate that account. You know, and this was so crazy, Nick. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you, once that announcement was made, okay, that student loans debt was going to start, and they're going to have a 3-month grace period. So that means they're not going to pay for the 3 months. The majority of them are not going to pay, right? This will give the people in cryptocurrency time to pull out their money. Because they know once those student loan payments start, the debt slaves are going to go straight to their cryptocurrency accounts to try to pull out some money to pay for those student loan debt. But what they don't know, that's going to drop or probably fall off, and they're going to lose. They're not going to. It's already gone. Soon as you hear those student loan payments going to start, that's when the money should start getting pulled out. You guys are debt slaves. You guys are predictable, man. Because you guys don't know. The interest starts September 1st. The interest keeps going through the grace period, debt slaves, through the grace period. Ooh, the way they do the way they do you guys. When they go to pull that money out, they have to pay those taxes too. You think they're going to pay taxes? You guys are not paying taxes. You guys are not paying taxes, and they know it. Okay? But there's just so many of you, it's hard. Till one day, they're going to come knocking on that door. They're going to come knocking on that door. Where you going, debt slave? Where's that letter? You read it? Oh, God. I'm just playing, debt slaves. The IRS is not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Not like that. They're just going to be like, why you answer our letters? LJ, it's a whole year grace period for the student loan repayment. What do you mean it's a whole year? I heard it was 3 months. What are you talking about, whole year? September 1st. And I heard they're going to start it on January. Did you hear different? Because I heard it was going to be 3 months grace period. Where are you hearing a whole year grace period, QJC? I did not hear about that. I love that one. I ain't gonna lie, I love that one. Where you going, debt slave? Come here, debt slave. Oh! Oh! God. That's me. When I come up on stage, dare a debt slave to come challenge me. Grace period for credit. Oh, I think I kind of heard about the you mean with they're going, wait, hold up. Let me make sure I'm hearing this right. They're going to do a grace period on the credit reports by not reporting it to the credit report for a year. Is that what I'm hearing? Tinfoil hat, is that what I'm hearing? They're going a grace period for not reporting it on your credit report for a year? Oh my God, that cannot be true. Let me look that up. Oh my God, that is absolutely brilliant. Hold on, let me put this mic down because I know you guys hearing all this damn noise. Hold up. Oh no. What? What? So that means their DTI will stay high. Their DTI will stay high so they can keep financing shit. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, student loan payment. They got a grace period. They don't want to mess up Christmas. They don't want to mess up the holidays. For a year. You see that balance? That's called balance, man. You see the way they do it? So now, all the people that were behind on their student loan payments, it's not going to show up on their credit report for a year. So that whole year, they can still finance shit. So they can get them in these houses. Wow. Absolutely. That's called chess, my friends. That's called chess. Now, if you guys take the time to go do this. Go start Googling Canada's economy. Then start Googling Australia's, all the economies that are capitalist, and go see the pattern. Go look at the UK. UK's having a student loan problem too. Ain't that weird? That's all weird, right? I bet you they can't bankrupt theirs either. It's probably called something else. It's probably not called bankruptcy. Wow. And to tell you the truth, you guys, I don't know what to call it, man, but I am just getting I'm almost getting bored watching them do what they do to you guys, debt slaves. I guarantee you guys are so excited that they're not going to put your student loan debt back on your credit reports for a year. You guys are so excited because they know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to go get in the house. You're going to go get into a car. You guys will still be able to be approved because it's not on there. Let's see all the benefits. It's definitely with financing for sure. So you guys can finance more stuff, get approved for housing. You guys can get approved for the leases. All these are houses that are leased. What else? Huh. Oh. So you guys can get in there. They raise the housing prices, and then you guys believe you have equity, and then you guys will refinance it out to get the money. And then by the time the student loan payments come, you guys will use the money from the house to make the payments. Holy moly. Oh my God. So when January comes, you guys will refinance the house and make your student loan payments with the money. Ooh wee. That's exactly what you guys are going to do. You get on the positive side, man. You guys can enjoy this life. It's beautiful over here. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you saw me just walk it out, right? Isn't that magnificent? Isn't that magnificent to you? That's like a Picasso painting to me. They do the things. that you guys love pause student loan debt. Don't put it on your credit report for you. You guys are jumping for joy. Anything that you guys don't have to pay, they know you're going to be happy about. But what you guys don't know in the background, you guys don't know anything about interest or how it works because you don't even own yourself. This shit is getting boring, really. Not boring in a way that watching them do it, that never gets, let me tell you something. Watching them how they do it, that never gets boring. That's just exciting. Okay. But just talking to you guys about it, it's just hey, you see what they, yeah, I do. I do see what they're doing. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. The way you guys are played, just they're never releasing you a student loan debt. That's why come to me. If you've been following me, because I'm seeing this a lot, and I still appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I will get people that have been following me for years and just now call me, just now reach out to me. Now I'm thankful that you guys follow me for years. But if you could just overcome the fears, false evidence appearing real psychologically, fears, FEARS, false evidence appearing real psychologically. The sooner, the better. Because once you understand this, you're going to realize time is the utmost importance. Because when you're in debt, this is what's crazy. And I'm going to leave you guys with this because I've been on here for 2 hours. When you're in debt, you totally forget that one day you're going to die. You're so busy and stressed and arguing with your girlfriend and your boyfriend and the kids and the busy and the soccer practice and school this and that, and then you add 40 plus hours of work on top of that. When you get free yourself, you guys really can't see it, but then you add 40 plus hours a week, and then the hours you add in traffic, and then the hours you add because of an accident, then the hours. When you come on this side, you get to zero, then you're going to really see. Then you're going to really see it for what it is. You're gonna realize, say like it takes you say like it took you 45 minutes to go to work. They don't pay you for that 45 minutes, but you have to do it to get to a place that you don't even want to be. But the 45 minutes, listen, this is how you're gonna look at it too. The 45 minutes it takes you to get to work, it's not even yours. You don't even have a choice. And you're not even getting paid for it. And you have to do it. Half the roads you have to pay to be on them. That's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's like going fishing and all these fish, and all you just scoop your net down and scoop up the fish. You because I remember when I was getting out of debt, and long story short, I remember it really started bothering me to drive to work. I did this for years. Normally, this is the way I went to work, go to work, blah, 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 blah. Time, this is light and this and that. And I noticed once I became debt free and was going to work, this is when I still worked for a year when I was debt free. I started paying attention to the time it took me to get to work. It didn't matter how short the commute was, how long it was, or whatever, right? But it mattered because I knew that time it was not in my control. I had to do that to get to the job, which they were not paying me for. But the time wasn't mine. I still didn't own it. Now I realize what it was. It was time. I did not own it. It was true. I didn't own it because I was in debt. I can give you the blueprint. Go past, right past go. We can skip over go. Nobody has, let me tell you something. Nobody has the blueprint that I'm offering to you. You're not going to find it anywhere on the internet or from anybody. You guys have a good night. We'll wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Nick, QJC, Tinfoil Hat, Wayman, if you're still here, you probably cut out. Clarence, Zyphy, Gabriel, October, Omanique Cosmic, Owen. You guys have a wonderful evening. Until next time, later.